Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Whether or Not. We have some exciting new facts for you this week, including how the ag tech company is making new strides in western Pennsylvania. Later, Jacob has a feature on the major snowstorm that occurred right here in State College a few weeks ago. All that and more, Whether or Not, starts right now. Hello and welcome to Whether or Not. I'm your host, Bree Guy.
And I'm your forecaster, Matt Hoenig.
So Matt, I hear that we're supposed to warm up this weekend. Mm-hmm. Is that true? I'm really looking forward to it if it is.
At least for the latter half of the weekend. So later Saturday into Sunday, warmer than what we've been seeing this past week. Of course, it's been very cold, very windy, even some periods of snow over the past couple days. With the warmer temperatures, though, we will see a chance of rain at least to start the weekend. Then skies clear a little bit as we head into Sunday.
Okay, good. I'll take it as long as it's slightly warmer than what we've been experiencing. It has been cold.
Yes, it has.
Yes. We'll have more on that later, though. But first, nature in the news. Pennsylvania being a new hub for the oil and gas industry has been a main topic of environmental discussion recently. However, some Pennsylvania residents got quite the surprise when they realized that the history of this industry in the state took place just a few feet below their homes. The Department of Environmental Protection has stated that there is at least 10,000 wells throughout the state, but there could be more than 500,000. Most of these wells are in western Pennsylvania and could pose a major threat if the wells are left unplugged. In the past, there have been explosions in the state that have been caused by abandoned wells, destroying homes in their wake. Some residents state that there are some telltale signs that there is an abandoned well, such as smell, dying grass, bubbling water, or even by accidentally finding things while gardening or remodeling. Plugging a well can be costly, anywhere between $5,000 and $200,000, which is money that many people don't have. Thankfully, the DEP is there to help. However, funds aren't endless and they have spent millions of dollars plugging wells. However, they believe it is important work and will keep people safe. On November 19th, Pittsburgh's first Ag Tech Summit took place. Ag Tech startup companies came together with local chefs, agricultural, and tech industry professionals to discuss how they could work together on future projects for a better food system and grow more food. Their mission is to incorporate new technology to make hydroponics farming, which is farming in sand, gravel, or liquid with added nutrients but no soil, more productive, lucrative, and more sustainable. One plan in the works is making automated growing to solve issues such as not having enough workers, high costs, and loss of crops, and the need to grow far away. Some plans also involve providing better care for farm animals, such as behavior tracking technology. Companies say that Pittsburgh is the perfect place because it is a major metropolitan area that is still close to farmland. The hope is to bring farmers into the new age of technology and advance the industry in exciting and significant ways.
Two weeks ago, a major winter storm covered central Pennsylvania with almost a foot of snow, causing travel headaches, road closures, and Penn State to cancel classes for almost 2 days. In central Pennsylvania, the snow began on Thursday morning and continued throughout the afternoon, falling at 1 to 2 inches per hour at times before changing over to sleet and freezing rain during the evening hours. A switch back to snow on Thursday night allowed for additional snow accumulations, and when all was said and done, State College officially received 11.5 inches of snow. A snowstorm of this magnitude in State College is rare, especially during the month of November. This storm is one of only 4 double-digit November snowstorms on record in State College and is the biggest snowfall in State College since February 2010, which was over 8 years ago. I sat down with Bill Syret, a professor of meteorology at Penn State and the manager of the Joel Myers Weather Center, to discuss how this snowstorm formed and its rarity for this time of year.
That particular storm was fairly rare. We have about 130 Novembers that we've looked at, and that was the fourth largest snowstorm on record for the month of November. So nearly a foot, which that ranks up there. Made us smile.
The last time State College received over 6 inches of snow from one storm during the month of November was 23 years ago, all the way back in 1995.
We had 18 inches, and I still remember the trees cracking and branches breaking from that one.
Where winter storms form and in what direction they move in play a big role in determining what type of precipitation will fall across the Northeast and exactly how much of it.
The storm track was, we'll get our biggest snows usually when they kind of hug the coast and draw a lot of moisture off the Atlantic. This one didn't really do that. It was more coming in from the west, but the upper level track was good. The centers of low pressure above us all went to our south, and that's usually a good recipe for prolonged heavy snow.
The center of low pressure high up in the atmosphere, called the upper level low, tracked into the Ohio River Valley and helped spawn a center of low pressure that was much lower in the atmosphere near the surface. This lower level center of low pressure tracked up the Atlantic seaboard and merged with the upper level low over New England. The low pressure system as a whole intensified, causing heavy snow bands to form and the storm to dump plenty of snow across the Northeast. Variability in the tracks of these centers of low pressure created uncertainties in forecast a few days before the storm.
Being State College, it's smart to be conservative with your forecasting because oftentimes we underperform here. But this one, by 2 days before, had me kind of excited with that. Just the upper level low, that's kind of key here. And there was a very strong high to our northeast. Good overrunning surface, good heavy snowfall.
Overrunning occurs when warm air is lifted over much colder air, causing condensation and then precipitation to fall. The strong center of high pressure that was stationed over northern New England supplied the cold air that was necessary for overrunning to occur, which increased the amount of snow that fell. Additionally, the different precipitation types that fell during the storm, such as snow, sleet, and freezing rain, were caused by both conditions at the ground as well as up in the atmosphere.
Because a very thick layer of the atmosphere was right around the freezing or melting point. And so any vertical motion would cause cooling and heavy snow. And when that vertical motion kind of let up, then we'd go to sleet and some freezing rain. We would have been well over a foot if it had stayed all snow, but nonetheless, it was a good storm with 1.5 inches of liquid, healthy.
November has felt very winter-like across the Northeast, with multiple winter storms dropping record snowfall amounts and temperatures between 2 and 8 degrees below average for this time of year throughout the month. I asked Bill if these cold and snowy November conditions would have any correlation to what the rest of the winter has in store.
There's some weather folklore. I heard Fred Godowski actually say about cold Novembers, and it oftentimes is proven true that a cold winter will follow. I don't put much stock in long-term forecasts, but I think before, a month or two earlier, there was a majority of forecasts were for a warm winter, I think, and I think that's trending colder. So.
Will you be hoping for a cold and snowy winter, or would you much rather prefer a mild winter with not a lot of snow? For the first few weeks of December, temperature probability outlooks are forecasting the chilly trend that we've seen throughout November to continue. But will these cold temperatures stick around for the majority of the winter? That's something we'll have to wait and see. For Weather or Not, I'm Jacob Morse.
We'll see a brief warm-up, and I really wanted to emphasize the word brief because come next week, temperatures will fall below average once again. So unfortunately, those 40s and 50s won't be sticking around for much longer than Sunday and Monday. Let's recap the weekend first. As I mentioned, a pretty unsettled weekend. To start the day off on Friday, we will see some rain starting to move out of the region with the system moving in late Thursday. And what that's going to do is keep conditions pretty damp throughout the day on Friday, although as we head into Friday afternoon, Friday evening, the rain moves out. We'll just be left with some clouds in the storm's wake, and temperatures will really struggle to hit the 40-degree mark Friday afternoon. Come Saturday, it starts off cloudy. It's below freezing in the morning, but we warm up enough in the afternoon that any precipitation that falls during the day on Saturday will fall in the form of just a plain rain. So no really wintry precip to deal with here in State College this weekend. High temperature on Saturday getting up to the 40-degree mark. So again, kind of a cool and raw rain for the middle of your weekend. Then comes Sunday, a few scattered showers to start the day, then eventually clearing skies and warming temperatures. I'm sure that 53 degrees on Sunday looks very good, and believe me, once that rain stops, it will be a great Sunday afternoon. Now, unfortunately, as we head into Monday, this warmth isn't really going to last. We will see a mixture of sunshine and clouds on Monday, and it will stay dry during the day on Monday. High temperatures really struggle, though, to reach the 40s, and we stay noticeably below average over the next several days. So as we see a new system move in for Tuesday, we'll see a mixture of rain and snow as temperatures will be pretty close to the freezing mark, and then in the storm's wake, temperatures will be much lower than that. So only upper 20s and lower 30s for high temperatures come Wednesday and Thursday. And there could even be a few flurries or light snow showers in the storm's wake. Those will persist through Thursday. Come Friday, we should start to get those snow showers to die down quite a bit, but temperatures will still be well below average for this time of year, so certainly a midwinter feel as we start the first week of December.
So you're telling me that we're going to be returning to the cold this next week?
Unfortunately, after a brief mild stretch Sunday into Monday, temperatures look to fall back way below average in some cases. Our average high for this time of year in the lower 40s. We're expecting low to mid 30s for next week. So definitely feeling a lot more like winter than the very late stages of fall. And on top of the cold temperatures, we'll also see chances for light snow showers and flurries. Not much in the way of sunshine whatsoever into next week.
Gosh, I'm just wishing for summer to return again. Like, it just went by way too quickly.
I feel the same way, but unfortunately we have a long way to go, and this is just the beginning of the winter weather.
I know. Good thing though about snow. It's always pretty. It can cause like quite a disruption though.
That is true.
Yeah. Like earlier in the show, we asked you during the winter storm that struck the State College area on November 15th through the 16th, how many flights were canceled nationally as a result? Was it A, 8,641, B, 5,521, C, 2,558, or D, 1,047? If you answered C, you are correct. Airports across the Northeast reported an additional 8,215 flight delays Thursday, November 15th. The airports impacted most by the winter storm included Newark Liberty International, LaGuardia, Boston Logan International, and Reagan National.
The same winter storm dropped 11.5 inches of snow in the State College area, canceling classes and interrupting Thanksgiving break travel plans for students at University Park. Bree, I know a lot of people's Thanksgivings, unfortunately, at least the start of the break, were delayed due to the weather, but I think the university made a right call in canceling classes, especially due to the volume of snow. That was a lot more snow than some of us here in the meteorology department were expecting, and of course that would lead to even more travel delays while it's falling and during the cleanup efforts as well.
I know, I was not complaining about that either on Friday, and yeah, I know a lot of my friends couldn't actually leave until Saturday, so.
Yeah, it was a nice day off, certainly, to at least enjoy maybe watching the snow from indoors, but certainly not a great day for traveling around whatsoever.
I know. Ugh. All right. Well, that's all we have for you on this week's episode of Whether or Not. Again, I'm your host, Bree Guy.
And I'm your forecaster, Matt Hoenig.
Have a good one, everyone.